So now we're going to talk about tasks and creating tasks. Now tasks are probably the most important things within Asana. They're the things that we are working through every single day, are different jobs that we need to complete while at work. So it's important to know how to create a task, how to read through a task, and how to most fully utilize the task function in Asana. So right now I'm working out of my My Tasks page, which is one of the areas you can add a task, or you can add a task in the project itself if you're looking at a projects list page. So to add a task, I'll just go to this Add Task button in the top left-hand corner. Click, and here it pops up right under your New Tasks section. Now right now this is an empty task because there's no name. So the very first thing we need to do is give it a name. The name should say exactly what that task is. That way you, or whomever you assign it to, knows exactly what it is just by the short title that comes up on their task page. So let's create a task that tells me to check the email. So I want to name it Check Email for Pig of the Month. Once you click off, that title has been created and your task is ready for you in your task list. Now, there's a lot of different things you can do within a task as well. So we'll dive into a couple of the different capabilities of a task. So when you click on a task, it'll pop up a box on the right-hand side of your screen with all the extra information about that task. Now we want tasks to have as much information as possible, so whomever gets assigned the task knows exactly what to do. The clearer we can be in Asana, the better we're going to be at completing the tasks correctly. So our first thing is to add a description in this box of what the task is. So when we go into our emails, we generally want to check for the most important emails and respond to them, and clear out junk mail. So for simplicity, we'll just leave those as the two instructions for this task. So in this description box, I'll type check for and respond to important emails, and another one that says clear out any junk mail. If you click off of it, this description will stay, and that anyone who clicks onto this task can see what exactly check email for Pig of the Month means. The next important thing to do is to assign the task to someone. If the task isn't assigned to someone, it can be unclear as to who is supposed to do it. So right now, because I created the task, it is automatically assigned to me. I can change this by hitting the X where it becomes unassigned and subsequently removed from my task list, or I can click on it and receive the names of all my different team members, and I can assign it to whomever it fits. But we'll keep this task assigned to me. The next thing we want to do right next to whom it's assigned to is the due date of the task. So let's say this task is due tomorrow, Thursday the 8th. We can just click on that date, and there you go, it's set as due tomorrow. Sometimes we want certain tasks to be done more than just one time. So check email, for instance, is a great example of this. We should be checking our email regularly. So if I want to remind myself to check this email, say every other day, I can set this as a reoccurring task. So I will click again to open up the calendar. I have it set still for Thursday the 8th. I can also set what time I need to start it or what time it's due. And here I can set it to repeat. So if I click Set to Repeat, it pops up and tells me it repeats 7 days after completion. So automatically it's going to remind me to do this every week on Thursday. I can click into this more to have more options. So I can choose periodically, and choose how many days, so I can do 2 for every other day, or I can go up to 30 to do it once a month. I can also click on repeat where it says periodically and choose for it to never repeat, which is what we had before, just one single task, to repeat every day, periodically, weekly, monthly, or yearly on this day. Hit done and it will be set, and you'll have this circle of arrows just to inform you that it is a recurring task that will pop up more than once. And we'll talk more in the future videos about how these recurring tasks pop up on your task page as you check them off. The next thing you can do is add this task to a project. So oftentimes our tasks are associated with specific projects or parts of the company. So if we click Add to Project, because checking the email is generally an administration or operational thing, I would want to choose the Pick of the Month Admin Operations Board. When I click this, the pink label, because the project is labeled as pink on the home page, pops up. This label is also present on my Tasks page, so I can easily establish which projects each tasks are associated with. I can also edit this, move it to a different project, or delete that it's added to a project. Now, as you can also see, all these different things I've done have popped up down here in this list. This list is just a reminder of different things that have happened on the task to help you see what's been going on and keep track of how this task is moving along. The next thing you can do under this list is to write a comment. So let's say I've created this task for myself, but I have a question for Leah about how to do this task most effectively. I can tag Leah, ask my question, and hit comment. When I do this, the comment is pinned to the task. I can pin it to the top so that it always stays the top comment in case more people comment on it. I can edit the comment if I change my mind on my question, or I can delete the comment completely so that it goes away. Now you can comment on your own tasks or on other people's tasks. It's really a place where conversations begin on Asana. Another great feature of Asana is the ability to add attachments to this task. So maybe I want to add an attachment of an email that I've seen in Pick of the Month mailbox that I want someone else to check out or want to save with this task. I click Attachments, and then it lets me attach the file from my computer or from different Dropbox, Google Drive, etc. I can also add subtasks. If I click this little icon or Tab S, a subtask is created. Maybe this subtask is to respond to customers. Subtasks can be completed just as overarching tasks can be completed. They can have separate due dates, and they can be assigned to either the same or different people, just by typing in their name. You can also click into a subtask, and you can add all the information you can add on a regular task to the subtask. To go back to your overarching task, you click on the gray title of your original task just above the name of your subtask. Now you can add as many subtasks as you need to that are relevant to this overarching task. You can also like different tasks if you want to like that they've completed it or that you're watching what's happening on it. There are also more options. So another important option is adding tags. You can hit Tab T or click this tag section, and you can add special tags. So maybe for this specific task, we want to write that it's administrative. And then we can choose a color for this tag. So let's say all administrative things are yellow. I click the yellow box, the tag becomes yellow, and a yellow label pops up on my task page. This is a great way to organize tasks if you have certain labels that you have repeating often. You can also add the task to a project from this section. You can delete the task completely if you've mistakenly made it or don't want it anymore. You can delete subtasks. You can duplicate the task, which means to recreate the task over again, as essentially a copy of it. When you click this, you'll have the option of what parts of the task you want to include. So maybe we want the whole same task, but we want it assigned to someone else. We can just uncheck assignee, hit create new tasks, and it will copy this task. And then we can reassign that new task to someone else. Lastly, there are followers on a task. So these followers are people who are watching what's happening on this task. So for example, because the task is assigned to me, I am a follower on the task. And because I had previously commented Leah, she was automatically made as a follower of the task. I can also add more followers that I think need to be seeing what's happening on this task. So maybe I want Liz to see that I'm doing this. I can add Liz and she's automatically a follower. I can also delete people that I don't think need to be followers. So maybe Liz won't care what I'm doing about checking the email. Maybe Leah doesn't need to see all the notifications. This is just a reminder for me, so I can remove her as well. You should keep yourself as a follower on any task that you find relevant for you. Some tasks have special labels, such as priority and current status, that have been made and can be found regularly on tasks. So priority tells you how important the task is. So one of my tasks is to design new business cards. Leah marked this as a low priority because it doesn't need to be done right away. The higher the priority, the more quickly it should be done, or the more important the task. Current status tells you where the task is in the process. So right now, we're waiting on someone or something in this task. We can change it to started, meaning it's in progress, on track, we're moving along just fine, or failing and that we need help with the task. These are great ways to show people where you are in the process and how the task is coming along. So that's tasks in a nutshell. There's a lot you can do with them and they're very important. When you finish a task, you can mark it as complete in the open task or with the little check mark in the circle on your task page. When you do this, you'll get a little notification saying it's complete. You can hit undo if you didn't mean to do that, and it'll pop back up on your page. If you ever have questions about tasks, feel free to reach out because it's super important that you know what you're doing in a task, how to read them, and how to most effectively communicate through tasks.